In this video, we're going to look at adding and subtracting fractions. But we're going to use cards to do it, these very fluorescent cards. Okay, so let's look at our first question. It says 1½ plus 3½. So I have 1½. It doesn't say 3½, does it? It says 3/2. So it's an improper fraction. So 3/2. It's important that we say that differently, that we say 3/2, not 3½. So here I have 1½ and I'm going to plus 3/2. 1, 2, 3. Now here I can't write down my answer yet because I've got something in integers here and these in halves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to regroup. Well, I can regroup this whole one for 2/2, so I'm going to regroup that. And I can regroup this 2/2 for another whole one. And so I can see that my answer to 1½ plus 3/2 is 3. Now my second question is a subtraction. And in this question I have 3½ and I have to subtract 5 quarters. I have to subtract 5 quarters. So I have to subtract an improper fraction. I can't do that at the moment because it's not in quarters. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to regroup. Well, let's look at this whole one. How many quarters go into one whole one? Well, I can see that that's 4 quarters is the same as one whole one. So if I regroup this one whole for 4 quarters, I have 4. Now remember, I need to take away 5. So let's regroup this half for 2. There we go. And so I can see I've got 6 quarters now. So if I take away 5 of them, 4 of them, and another one, I've taken away 5 quarters. And so now I'm left with my answer, which is 2 1/4. So the answer, so 3½ take away 5 quarters, is 2 1/4. Final question. And here I have 1 3/4 plus 3/2. So this is quite a complicated question because I have a mixed number, an improper fraction. Now these two are what we call like fractions because they have denominators that we can move between quite easily. Let's see what the question looks like in cards. I have 1 3/4 and I'm going to add 3/2. Right, how can I do this? Well, let's try and make things and put things into halves first. Well, if I regroup these 2 quarters, I can see that they are equivalent to 1/2. Put that there. Now let's move these around just so it looks a bit easier. It looks like that. Now I've got some halves here and I think I can regroup these for whole ones. So these 2 halves are the same as 1. And these 2 halves make a whole one. There we go. And so now I can see I've got an answer. 3 whole ones and 1/4. So the answer to 1 3/4 plus 3/2 is 3 1/4. Okay, in this video we've looked at adding and subtracting fractions using cards, and we've seen the importance of regrouping between fractions with different denominators.